Hello, children! Today, Daniel Pashley is here with us and will tell us something more about the European Parliament and the European Union. So, Daniel, can you explain to our audience what was your job at the European Parliament?
Hello, Julian. Hello, children, and thanks very much for inviting me to your podcast. Yes, I was at the European Parliament and I worked there as an interpreter. So at the European Parliament, lots of people from many different countries around Europe, they all want to talk to each other, but they all speak different languages. And so the interpreters are there to make sure that they all understand each other. And so I translated simultaneously people who were talking in other languages into English, so that people who speak English can understand what they were saying.
Okay, thank you very much, Daniel. And now what we want to know is, how was to work at the European Parliament?
The European Parliament is a great place to work because you have lots of people from all over Europe, all together, all sharing ideas about how Europe should be run.
As someone who worked at the European Parliament and has a deep knowledge of European institutions, do you think the European Union is doing enough policies or activities for children?
Well, the European Union can't really do very much for children because it doesn't really have the power to pass any laws concerning things like education. That's something that the countries of the European Union, the member states as we call them, have decided to keep for themselves. But when it comes to protecting children, there the European Union does try and do what it can. And they have laws against child poverty, for example, trying to make sure that no children have to be hungry or have to worry about physical violence, that kind of thing. However, in one of the European Union bodies, the European Commission, there is a department which looks into children's welfare and children's rights. But that's about it, really.
However, you previously told me that the European Union is doing a lot for university students right now. Can you explain it to our audience?
Of course, when you get a little bit older and become a student, then the European Union really can be a great help because there is the Erasmus program, and that really allows young people to travel to different countries in Europe to take part in study. There's nothing better, I think, than going to spend a year studying at a university in a different country in Europe. It's a great way to improve language skills and get to meet different people.
Okay, now, what is your advice for those children who want to start a career in international politics?
My advice for any children who want to have a career in international politics is firstly to learn at least one other language, and secondly to spend some time in another country in Europe so you have the experience, you know what it's like to live in a country that's not your own and to see reality through other people's eyes.
Absolutely, I agree with you, Daniel.
Another good thing to do is to do something else, not just politics. So perhaps you can become a doctor or a lawyer or a journalist or something else, rather than going straight into politics, because that again gives you more experience of the world and will make you a better politician.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. That's all for today. And goodbye, children. I'll see you next time.
And bye-bye from me.